All right, everybody, we have a emergency Stud Wars meeting here because the Death Star has leaked. I repeat, the Death Star has leaked, and we're here to talk about it. We have not had a group discussion about this, so we're hopping on the podcast to talk about it. We're going to keep it relatively brief, but we do want to provide information to the people and provide content to the people regarding this massive Lego Star Wars news that we got.
News ever.
It is. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to briefly read what we know about the set, the facts that we got from the leak, and that we have from the leakers. And then we'll just jump into our thoughts on it, our opinions on it. We're going to talk about the set. We're going to talk about the figures. We're going to talk about the slice of the Death Star that we get. And I'm excited because I don't really know what Matthew or Rami think about it, and they don't really know what I think about it. So this is going to be really interesting. What we know about the Death Star, the UCS Death Star that's going to be coming out in 2025, it is $999.99, set number 75419. It is a UCS Death Star. Comes with 9,023 pieces, 38 minifigures. It is 27.5 inches tall. It is 31 inches wide. It is 10.5 inches deep. It is slightly bigger, but it's about the same size as the UCS Millennium Falcon. So for reference, that's about the size that we're looking at here. And yeah, it's a center slice of the Death Star for $1,000.
I'm just in disbelief. Me and Matthew were actually at work yesterday when this got leaked, and I'm still blown away that Lego is charging $1,000 for this. It's not the price per piece. It's none of that. It doesn't feel like $1,000. And I've looked at it all day. I've looked at it all night, and I've just been trying to put my thoughts together on this, and I just don't like it for a lot of reasons. Reason one being is all of these, like, I'm assuming that the width of it is about 12 bricks. So everything is just like downscaled, and it's supposed to be like a diorama, but it's also not a diorama because it's a little bit too small. Like, all the rooms are small. And on top of that, like, Vader's meditation chamber.
Yeah, that's something we need to touch.
That's for Star Destroyer. That wasn't even on the Death Star. And on top of that, it's small. It looks like a little egg. Like, it doesn't look.
That's what I'm saying. We need to touch on the fact of how small everything is. That is one of the main driving points to this whole set, is just how small it really is. And, like, especially when you compare it to the UCS Falcon, where, like, I get you trying to make the rooms and it's the same, but it's the same size. For it being $1,000 and it being roughly the same size as the Falcon is wild, especially from what you get right here. And like you said, the Vader's chamber, look at it. It's like, that's like an 8x8 square. How can you justify that as being the meditation chamber? And then look next to it, the Obi-Wan Death Star cannon, and then they tried to also make that where Luke and Leia are slaying over, but it's like swinging over, but it's just too small. Like, it's just too inaccurate for me.
I think another thing I'd like to touch on too is that if you're paying $1,000 for a set, no kid is buying this. This is an 18-plus set, an Ultimate Collector Series set, $1,000. Take 10 seconds to just think about what you could do with $1,000. Think about it.
You could get better Lego.
You could get
better Lego.
You could get a ton more stuff than $1,000 set. And on top of that, the figures, most of them aren't even exclusive. There's like 9 exclusive figures out of 40. And on top of that, like, the figures that are in there, they're exclusive, but they don't have the Ultimate Collector Series, like, touch. Like there's no arm printing. There's like dual molded legs on like 2 figures in this set. It just doesn't feel premium. It's a premium product. It should have the best quality you could possibly give it at $1,000 price point, right?
So you guys haven't heard any my opinion on this like at all, really. You heard my
No.
So I think, and before you trip, I'm getting somewhere with this. I think this is the best Death Star they've released. Okay? But is it $1,000? Absolutely not. They could have pulled off a very similar style build of the Death Star with, I would say, 700 pieces, make some of the, like you guys are talking about. I don't like how small the sections are. I would rather have 5 or 6 like bigger sections, like from the more iconic scenes, like the throne room, which is basically just I think it's exactly the diorama set. It's just thrown in this the Death Star, right?
It looks smaller, like and like I don't know. That could just be me, but it looks smaller.
It does look a little bit smaller, but I think you take some of the moments that they've captured here, and you just make them big. I understand, like it's the Death Star, and they're trying to fit as much as they can in this, but it's just not big enough. If you're gonna do this style, this version of the set, I would rather have, like, we have the Imperial shuttle down there. That thing looks so terrible. It's small. The build sucks. We need a space. Yeah, it's not even play scale. If you're going to do this, you have to be more effective with the usage of the space, I think, because these rooms, like you guys are saying, are just too small. But I'm also not a fan of the full, like the previous Death Stars we've gotten. I don't like them. I don't think there's a right way to do this, to be honest. With this perspective on what's going on in the Death Star, but on the back end, maybe we have the entire like panels to build out the other half of it. But regardless, like this thing is not worth $1,000, no matter which way you slice it. No pun intended. But I do think, in my opinion, this is the best version of a Lego Death Star that we've got.
I agree with that, and I don't think the bar was set really high. I know a lot of people really like the old Death Star. I'm personally not the biggest fan. I think it looks kind of empty, bare, and I don't know. It just doesn't tickle my fancy. But 11 cents per piece is pretty good. But I'm just trying to stay positive. It's just like they set the bar like so high, and when you set a bar that high, you have to meet expectations. Like
what did they set the bar high with, though?
The price tag, $1,000. That is a big deal. That is a really big deal. And when you're paying $1,000 for a premium product, you should get a premium product. And this have it because there's not dual molded legs for most of the figure. There's just nothing premium about it except for like a few minifigures, and then of course like the build. But I mean,
I honestly disagree with this being the best Death Star. I think I think it being the slice of it really, really limits what the hell they could have done with the set. Even if it was a dang half sphere, I would be much happier with it because it would give more space to make the rooms bigger. I mean, and just like even the edges and stuff of it, like you see the edges to the left of the trash compactor and whatnot, and they just added random greebling. That's extremely lazy. Like if I don't know, I honestly I could just be biased because I like the old Death Stars, but that's just because I like the scale of them. I like being able to spin it around and see the rooms in it, and it's a sphere. So I don't know, maybe I'm just biased, but I think if they limited themselves so much with the slice of it that it's very hard for me to even like it.
I also think about display, and I would rather display what they're doing. Like I would rather display this kind of slice of the Death Star than a massive, like, fully rounded out Death Star. I just don't. It takes up too much space. It's too bulky. If you've got both ends of it, like, you have to decide which way you want to angle it and display it. I think as far as displayability goes, I see what they're going for here, because it's just going to take up a flat space on a shelf or whatever, and it's not as big as we would like it to be, obviously, but it is pretty massive. And so that's another thing that I'm thinking about as a collector and as someone who displays all of my sets. I will like the way, I'm not going to buy it, first off, but I would like the way it looks on display as well.
I mean, I guess I could see that, but for me, it's just like you put that on display and you call that a Death Star. That's just it's hard to look at that and say that that's a Death Star. You know, like you look at the gun, and the gun is basically the only thing that's lamenting that it's a Death Star. Otherwise, it's just a big circle.
The laser is really cool. I think we can all agree on that. Like the actual
the laser is pretty cool, but it doesn't mean much when the set itself doesn't have much.
Right, yeah. I definitely don't think that obviously doesn't make up for the rest of the set, but it looks the most. That's the most accurate thing we get on the set.
Yeah, I like the use of the lightsaber pieces for the the laser and whatnot, but I don't know. I just think it could have been done way better. Even the gun itself, the placement of it could have been way better. And then to think about it, people have been waiting all year for $1,000 Death Star. People have been waiting all year for this, and this is what they're getting. They're getting a slice of it, which I get for display purposes, but in terms of being a Death Star, you can't turn that around and it be round or anything. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. I don't know.
I will be the first one to say that I don't like the build personally. It doesn't mean other people aren't going to like it. I don't like it. But the thing that gets me is that you're paying $1,000 and you don't even get figures that feel like $1,000.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
True.
Full molded legs, printed arms, it all should be there. There's no excuses. Yeah. We need the best of the best for $1,000 price tag. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that we're. Yes, Millennium Falcon is $850, and it has dual molded legs for Han Solo and printing on the side of the legs. And they can't do it the same treatment for this set. It is absolutely it's unacceptable.
I agree.
A product like that if you're not giving the best quality. I can just get most of these figures on the aftermarket for like $3-4 a piece, and then get the Galen Erso for. He's probably going to be like $250, because most people, maybe like myself, don't like the build, but they really want a Galen Erso figure, and boom, there you go. You're kind of blocked from getting that because it's in $1,000 set.
At the very least, they should have got the figures perfect. We should have got dual molded legs where it was necessary, like on a lot of these Imperial troops that we have on so many of these figures. Plus, like, there's the lacking of arm printing on a lot of these. I completely agree. And me saying this is the best Death Star we've gotten, that is not a high bar for me, because I don't like the previous versions of the Death Star. But again, it's not worth $1,000. It's not anywhere close. I don't know how, we've talked about it in the last 2 episodes ago. It's like, how do you? A fan asked us, how do you justify $1,000 price on a UCS Death Star? And I'm like, I don't think you can. I don't know how they would make it worth this price tag. Like, even if it was half of a sphere, like, I'm still not going to spend $1,000 on this. How do you guys think they should have done this or approached this?
That's very valid, and I touched with Rami on that a little bit yesterday when we first saw it. They just can't make it worth it. They just can't make it worth it.
What would you guys change about this, other than making it like a half sphere? Like, what would you change about it?
I'm not gonna lie, I would be
about the build, not the.
They could make the slice of it deeper, right? Kind of like the black box, the Arkham Batman black or whatever the Batman black box, make it thicker, right, so that we can have more room. And then I don't know if this is just me, maybe just thinking like a crazy person, but you see all the figures in this box art right now, and to me it kind of seems a little empty. Like they put the Han Solo and Stormtrooper armor in a place where, like, away from the Luke Skywalker and Stormtrooper armor. They put the C-3PO away from R2-D2, and it's like it feels like on this box art they're just trying to fill it up. You know what I mean? Whereas people probably aren't even going to be displaying it like this.
Also, we get a hot tub Stormtrooper. He's not on the box, so he's probably, I would say, I think the theories going around is that he's going to be hidden in one of these like upper kind of rooms, a Complete Saga Easter egg. So that figure's cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at. So first off, let's just briefly look at the rooms on the front of the box here. We've got the Emperor's Throne Room, which looks to be a scaled down version of the diorama set. It would be cool if it's the same size, but we'll just have to see. We have like the meeting room over here, Vader's chamber, which again, that's just ridiculously small. We've already talked about this kind of middle section. We've got Chewbacca and Han Solo over here in the area where Princess Leia is locked away. Han Solo running from the troops. We have a very scaled down version of the trash compactor diorama. I don't think this is even, it's not anywhere close to that size of that one. We have the area where the Emperor kind of comes out on his shuttle in Return of the Jedi. That's a cool space. It's got some stars in the background, but again, the ship's lame. The scale is lame as well. Got C-3PO over here in a control room. But let's take a look at these images. I don't know. What do you guys think about the little sections that we get here? Aside from the scale, we can all agree the scale of pretty much all of these is too small, right? But I don't know. What are y'all's general thoughts when you see these?
There's not even the thing is, because on the box they make it look like there's more figures than there actually are in the set. For example, all the stormtroopers are on the
first image. Yeah, those are
Imperial.
Yeah.
There's 6 that come in the set. There's
Yep.
6. So on top of that, if you want more stormtroopers, you have to go buy them on the aftermarket and fill in the spots that are in the set. Which, okay, fine. But for $1,000, you can't throw in 3 more stormtroopers and fill out that space already and throw in the crew members? Why can't you do that? Another thing, what about the meeting room? Why is there 3 empty seats? There's not 3 empty seats in the movie. Another thing, you can throw in 3 more exclusive figures. Boom, you have a full room, a full set diorama. You don't get diorama sets. Perfect example. The trash compactor. It had the C-3PO and the R2 on the other side. And it, quite frankly, didn't have to be there because it was on the other side of the diorama. But they included it because it's part of the scene. Why can't we get the same treatment for this set? Because these are supposed to be dioramas, and you're supposed to have the scene, right? But you don't even have all the characters from the scene. You have to go buy other sets to get them or go on the aftermarket. That's one thing that just really pisses me off looking at this is you don't even get all the figures to complete the scene. You have to go and buy more sets.
To touch on like the size, I know we've already talked too much about the size or whatever, but I kind of mentioned this to Rami, and how would it not be possible for them to make each room like a diorama sized? Because each diorama is about like $100 on average anyway, right? They're about 900 pieces, 1,000 pieces. You could have made 10 diorama sized rooms, and still it would have been worth $1,000. So I don't understand how we're getting this small of a Death Star with this small of rooms.
That's kind of where I understand that too. That's kind of where my point of like, instead of having all of the, because we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 11 little rooms here. I would much rather have let's say 7 or 8 full diorama-sized areas instead of having such a compact like space for some of these scenes.
You know what I
Get that
mean?
meditation chamber out of here, bro.
Take the meditation chamber out of here. Take one of these 2 sections out of here. Even take the C-3PO in the control room out of here. Make this space bigger where the Imperial shuttle is at. Put the full trash compactor diorama. Put the full throne room diorama, and then basically just create some new dioramas, and throw them in there. Again, I still don't think that would make this thing worth $1,000, but maybe 700, 800, But it's. I think we can all agree. This is nowhere the value of this set with the size, the minifigures, the design, everything. Nothing justifies $1,000 price point on this thing.
No, this is not worth $1,000 at all.
No.
And I would feel more comfortable spending $1,000 on a Death Star that had like 7 diorama-sized builds in it, right?
Yeah.
I would feel more comfortable spending $1,000 on something that had 7 or 8, 9 diorama-sized builds, because that's what you're paying. You're paying for the 10 diorama, the 7 dioramas. That's what you're. So I don't get how they can call this I don't get how they can price this at $1,000. It's just ridiculous. So it's kind of official now that Lego Star Wars has become a cash grab for the Lego company, because this right here it's not like out of touch or anything, but it kind of is. It's like, what, they really think that this is what we would want out of a $1,000 Death Star? Like, I feel like they could just price it, like say that there's a $1,000 Death Star coming out and people are just so hyped for it or whatever, that I don't know. It didn't follow expectations, and to me, I think this kind of laments the fact that Lego just sees Lego Star Wars as a cash grab.
There are rumors going around, and there's no official sources on this, that Disney has raised the licensing fees for Lego, like to purchase, to keep making Star Wars sets. If that's true, what do you guys think about that?
Boycott.
Lego's never going to lose that license. Let's get that out of the way. It doesn't matter how much Disney charges for it. Lego is never going to lose that license because they can't risk it.
Right.
They can't risk it. So I mean, if that's what's making the set so expensive, I don't know what to think. Because we don't want to accept expensive sets as the new norm, right?
Right. And I'm definitely not bringing that up to try to justify it. I was just curious if you guys had heard that. And again, I don't know what the merit to that is, but also, where are the 9,000 pieces?
You know what I mean?
Besides, got to think about the back wall, the paneling on the sides, and then for some reason they wanted to add greebling into the places that didn't have a room, which is just flat out lazy.
Yeah. It's just still hard for me to look at this thing and see 9,000 pieces. That's so many freaking pieces, bro.
Look in the background of the Imperial shuttle right there. You can kind of see like little lines going down and like across. I guarantee that there's like at least maybe 800 to 900 pieces right there. Just right back there in that little section.
Well, look at the I don't know if I'm just seeing this, but look at the panels for each section. You're on the sides, right? The side panels. They look like they're using an unnecessary amount of bricks. Does it not? Like, you can see the lines in between.
It looks like little 2x1 pieces.
Right. It's like they're using like 1x4 plates and to like make up the wall. I don't know.
Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, where are the 9,000 pieces at? If you look closer, you can maybe figure it out, but it just doesn't. I know it is 9,000 pieces. I'm just like, it's hard for me to understand.
It's in the structure, though. It's in the structure that, I don't know. I feel like you could have gotten away with 9,000 pieces a whole lot better.
Like, this is what this section in the interior is what people are buying the set for. I wonder how many pieces is just in this area despite the side. Because, I mean, if you really want to be honest, they could have used 2 or 3 like panel pieces to just build the outside of this, you know. And so I wonder how many pieces, we'll find out when it's released, are in the actual interior area here. That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till that day comes. I wanna say a little ending statement for these clips and people clicking onto the video and watching and thinking I'm just a hater. I have been collecting Lego Star Wars my entire life, and I love Lego with a passion, especially Lego Star Wars. But this is not acceptable. This is not quality that we need for $1,000. And that's why I'm so upset with this, because we deserve to be paying $1,000 for a set that looks and feels like $1,000. I could buy a $200 ATST right now and I get one figure, and that figure is damn near perfect. It just needs, like the little boots and stuff, but it's got arm printing. It's a complete figure. At least I get that and a cool build. I don't even get that with this. Most of it is just generic figures that we've seen in the past, and it's just not exclusive enough to justify $1,000.
And I was thinking, like, if you wanted to fix it, how would you go about that? Spend another $1,000 to make it bigger? Nobody's gonna do that. Why would, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just $1,000 is wild for what they're giving us.
I think they could have pulled this set off with 700-800 pieces, $200 less at least, and it would have been the same. It would have relatively given us the same kind of value here, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, those are our thoughts on the new Death Star leak, and yeah, we're not happy about it. There are some pros to it, but again, the pros that are here do not in any way justify this being $1,000. Yeah, I don't know. You guys have anything else? That's all I've got for it.
Also, in this diorama, you can get a protocol droid walking in a hallway.
We're going to end it right there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know your thoughts on the new Death Star.
Hey, and like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Thank you. We're almost at 1,000 subs, by the way. We just hit 900. We're over 900. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. Peace out.